Everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this is going to be my highlight and contouring video, and I don't want to ramble too much, so I hope you enjoy the video, and if you do, please give it a thumbs up and let me know down in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll be doing 2 videos per week. So thank you for watching, and let's get into it.
So I already pretty much prepped my skin with moisturizers, but I'm going to go in with my Armani Prima Glowing Balm to start off with one of my primers. And then after that, I'm going to follow up with the Laura Mercier Radiance Primer that I always use. And I'm going to put that more towards the outer parts of my face, so my cheek and my forehead, while I use the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer for around my nose and a little under the eye, just because that's where I have a little bit more texture. So I'm going to apply those and then go right in with color correcting. So I'm kind of speeding through this part just because I plan on doing a video with more of an in-depth foundation routine, but I really want to concentrate on highlighting and contouring in this video. So I'm just going to speed through this part pretty quickly. So I'm using my Bobbi Brown Peach Corrector under the eye. You absolutely don't need this palette. They buy it, you can buy it in single form. This is pretty much for makeup artists. But around my mouth, I needed a little bit more coverage as far as color correcting. So I went in with my MAC palette in, I believe it's Deep, for more of an orange tint rather than peach. So going in with my Becca Luminous foundation, I'm just going to press that in with my beauty blender. And I'll be honest, I've been having such a struggle with my foundations. I feel like nothing is matching me right now, I guess with this winter skin color. But yeah, this is the only foundation that's really matching me at this point. Now I'm going in with my concealer, and now pretty much starting the highlighting right now. So I'm using 2 by LA Girl. I'm using the color Fawn and Cool Tan. You can see I mixed the two just because Cool Tan is lighter, but I needed more yellow in it. So I used Fawn, which was pointless because I feel like it kind of darkened it. So that's why I have the Urban Decay, which I add right now just to lighten up the highlight. So I'm highlighting under the eye, and I do bring it out pretty far because I want to add width to my face. And then I'm going down the center of the nose. I'm going to highlight the chin and the Cupid's bow. So yeah, I bring it out pretty far just because I have more of a longer face, so I like to add width in the center to help balance it. And it's really important to know your face shape when you're highlighting and contouring. I feel like people, they see Instagram and they see YouTube and they just put the lines where they see everyone else put lines, but you need to make sure that you're actually highlighting and contouring according to your face shape. So now I'm going in. This is actually Black Opal foundation sticks. I just deposited them into a MAC palette. But I'm using Suede Mocha to contour my face. And you'll see that it's going to look a little warm, but in person it's a little bit more cooler on me. So it makes the perfect contour shade for me. I'm going to go under the cheekbone and the hollows of the cheek, right under where I put that highlight. And what I like to do is actually, when I bring it towards the front, I like to scoop it a little bit under, and this helps to bring out the cheekbone just a little bit more for me. I'm also going along the forehead as well because I have a pretty big forehead, so I want to shorten that. And I'm also going to contour along the jawline just because I like a defined jaw. And then you'll see I'll go a little bit under the lip, and that's going to help make a fuller lip at the bottom and the sides of the nose as well. So when I contour my nose, I'm not actually contouring it to make it skinny. I just like to bring a little bit of definition back in the center of my face just because I do have more of a flatter nose. So I'm just pausing it here so you guys can see the actual, I guess you could say the contour map. But yeah, I just want to bring width to the center of my face because I do have a longer face. I didn't highlight as much as my forehead because when you're highlighting, that's the areas that you're bringing forward that you want to make bigger. And I don't want to make my forehead bigger. That's why I'm contouring more on my forehead to make it smaller. I highlighted my chin because I do have a smaller chin, and that's going to also help kind of shorten my face a little bit. So I sprayed a little bit of a facial mist before I blend, just to help the creams blend a lot easier. And when I blend when I blend my contour and my highlight, I make sure that I'm keeping it in the exact place that I put it. So to do this, I'm just going to keep patting instead of rubbing and doing any circular motions, because that's going to defeat the whole point of highlighting and contouring. You want to keep the product exactly where you put it. And what I like to do is just go back and forth with a brush and a beauty blender to blend out the lines. And the one reason, I normally don't let my contour sit on my face like mapped out how I did before, but I like I said, I wanted to show you where I put everything. But I do let my concealer sit under my eye, just because when concealer sits, it settles to a point that it thickens and it helps with more coverage. So I do like to let the concealer sit under the eye, but in the other places I actually blend as soon as I put it down, as well as the contour. I don't let the contour sit. So now I'm just going in with my Laura Mercier powder, and I'm powdering from the outside in, and that's going to help with creasing. And then I just take a little bit of the same powder and I dust it pretty much everywhere on the face. But where you see me pushing, that's where I do tend to break up a little bit, especially around my mouth and under the eye. So I push in more, but everywhere else on the skin, I'm just going to dust lightly. And I just wanted to insert this clip really fast because whenever I feel like my under eye concealer is not yellow enough, or I feel like it's not bright enough under my eye, I do go in with those two powders, the Sasha and the MAC Studio Fix in NC42. I didn't use them in this video, but I just like to put that in. If it's not yellow enough, I do add in those powders. So to bronze my face, I'm using the Ebony Bronze by CoverGirl. This is not contouring. I'm bronzing my face. I'm bringing back the warmth in my face that was lost with all the highlighting and contouring. But I'm going to follow up with Bobbi Brown bronzing powder in, I believe this is shade 8. And this is what I'm going to use to contour. And I'm just keeping that color towards the back. And you can see it's a lot cooler than the Ebony Bronze, and that's going to help me create the shadows that I want from contouring. So I'm using that under the cheekbone and around the hairline. And I'm also, you'll see in a later clip, I'm going to use it for down my nose too. I forgot to do it at this point. But now I'm just using my complexion sponge. I believe that's from Real Techniques, and I'm just cleaning up any areas. So going in with the Bobbi Brown highlighter and the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit in Sun Dipped, I'm going to apply my highlight on the tops of my cheeks, down the center of my nose, and above the arches of my eyebrows, as usual. And I like to apply my highlight before my blush, just so it everything looks more blended. And I'm adding more highlight. So I'm using NARS's blush in Taos. Probably one of my favorite blushes. It's great for every day. It's great for every skin tone. It just adds a little flush to the face. And I'm going in with my beauty blender again. I constantly use my beauty blender. I just make sure it just helps to keep everything blended. And that is the finished look. So I'm just adding a little bit of lipstick to complete the look. But yeah, that is how I highlight and contour. Pretty simple. I know it looks like a lot of product, but this is for days that I know I'm going to either be photographed or I'm doing an event or something like that. This is definitely not an everyday for me, but I do like the outcome of it. So I love contouring. I love both highlighting and contouring. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.